gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Squared Circle with me, Mr. David Alorca.
And me, Joe Orgula.
That's right. We are back for another episode. Something special to talk about. Something special is going down in Riyadh. There's been speculation. We've been speaking about all that the boxing world has thought this fight card would encompass. But now we know. Joe, what a card indeed.
Bruv, that is the best card, I think, in the history of the sport. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Like, honestly, I can't talk about what was going down in the 1930s and that. Like, I don't know what was going down in boxing.
It don't matter. It don't matter. I'll still vouch for it. Historians, get your notebooks out, do your research, bro. Have you guys ever seen a card that put well together, that amazing, the names, the fights, the competitive fights, everything put together? Have you ever seen a card that well put together in the history of the sport? Think about it. I don't know.
Listen, that's a question that you probably should have asked Spencer Fearon when you saw him, because obviously Mr. Spencer Fearon is the knowledge in boxing. So
100%.
Honestly, like, I don't know. But all I know is that card is absolutely sensational. We're going to start at the bottom of the card. The bottom of the card, there are different fight posters that have different fights at the bottom of the card. But we're going to start with the light heavyweight clash, the interim light heavyweight world championship. Unbelievable stuff here. I'm talking Josh Buatsi versus, oh my day, Mr. Mundo Smith.
Mad thing.
Callum Mundo Smith, former super middleweight champion of the world.
Mad thing. You know, he fought last week on the prelims for Sonny Edward versus Galal Yafai. Next fight, let's get it. Let's get Buatsi. This is one of those, you know, the British light heavyweight scene for the last couple of years. It's always been fighters that we want to see against one another. You know, AYJB, AY Callum Smith. But this one, people have been speaking about for a minute. Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith, when he does decide to move up as well. People would like to see that fight. And the fact that we get to see it straight away after Callum Smith's just coming back since that Beterbiev lost, it's madness, bro. I respect Callum Smith so much, and I respect JB because JB can sit on the side if he really wanted to and wait for the winner of Bivol Beterbiev II if he wanted to.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
It's true. Do you know what's mad about this fight, yeah? The crazy thing about this fight is throughout all of the fight card speculation, nobody had it in their books. Nobody had it in their thoughts. Nobody had Joshua Buatsi on this card. And when it all came to light, right, that fight right there, if this is the opener of the night, what an absolute cracker.
Mad.
What an absolute cracker. When Callum Smith moved up from super middle to light heavy, you know, the light heavyweight division was like, oh my days, this is not a joker that's coming up here. He was big at the weight at super middleweight. He's 6'3". He's a big boy coming from a family of absolute warriors, of world champions. The stock is great from that perspective. And then you've got Josh Buatsi, who is rolling the dice once again. Josh Buatsi, who is proving that he is prepared to clean up this domestic scene. And it's not only a domestic scene. We're talking about he's cleaned up world champion challengers. And now he's cleaning up now he's looking to clean up a former world champion. Yes, in the super middleweight division. But listen, Callum Smith is no joke. He was a former Ring Magazine world champion as well. So let's look, let's give Josh Buatsi his props here, because like you said, he could literally be sitting on the sideline. He could chill out if he wanted to. And many people would advise him to just relax. He's the mandatory. He can just wait in line. He shouldn't risk it. That's what many people would say. But listen, he's like, nah, it's time to get busy. And I'm going to get busy against a very live opponent. When Callum Smith went out on that last fight, it was like, it was random. It was like, where did this come from? Like nobody, obviously it went on the card. It just popped up like 5 days before the fight. But then that's the reason as to why. Because them man there knew what was cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what, Callum Smith, right? So since that Beterbiev loss, a lot of people thought, is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? I think Callum Smith himself didn't know. So the fact that he decided, you know what, I'm gonna give this one last thing a run. I'm gonna go for it, you know. And the fact that, you know, we're giving Buatsi a lot of credit for taking these fights, but also we gotta give Callum Smith credit because he's going straight into it. And I think there's no other type of level fights for Callum Smith unless it's the big ones, the domestic clashes or world title shots. And he's proven that he's going to take that challenge, right? With JB, I think, I don't know if you remember, but like quite a few episodes back where we last spoke about JB, I said if JB's going to fight either Bivol or Beterbiev, he may as well not sit about. He may as well take big fights because if he takes the big fights and gets through those big fights, right, that will only give him more of a chance to actually perform the best of his capabilities against Bivol Beterbiev, right? So that fight, in essence, is a proper bust up. Like I see a war. I see a British war in that fight. But now let's move into the next.
We can't move. We can't move.
Go on.
Without talking about the elephant in the room.
Go on.
Anthony Yarde. Like where's he at? Like really and truly, with all the props we're giving JB and we're giving Callum Smith, it should be Anthony Yarde. Where is Anthony Yarde at? The last I heard from Anthony Yarde, he was sitting with Simon Jordan talking about doing a Lyndon Arthur number 3.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody want to see that.
There's no point.
Nobody wants to see that. Like, I don't understand what's going on over here. And there's a whole press campaign going on from the AY side. And yes, like I said, man's got much love for them, man. But there's a press campaign going on from the AY side that they wanted the Buatsi fight, and Buatsi isn't the one that wanted it. But nobody is talking about the fact that their man pulled out of 2 purse bids when it was for the mandatory. Like that, nobody's talking about the fact that their man pulled out of 2 purse bids. It wasn't Josh Buatsi's side that pulled out of 2 purse bids. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So for me, this thing here is not making sense. Many people, like, shout out my guy, Mr. Hatman Boxing as well. Hatman Strikes Back. He's talking about this. He's like, is AY being frozen out? Is that what's going down? Is he being frozen out because of the situation that he's had with Frank?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said that him and Frank are still, you know what I mean? He said that Frank is still uncle, innit? Big Uncle Frank.
Yeah.
But it's not looking healthy on that side.
You know what, in terms, just quickly talking about Buatsi, Yarde and the purse bids, you know, the thing is, bro, actions speak louder than words, right? And we see Joshua Buatsi being active. He's fighting everyone he can fight. He accepts every challenge put to him. The AY fight, he was on it. He was ready for it. Willie Hutchinson, he was ready for it. After that big win against Craig Richards, right? Callum Smith showing that he's on it, you know, and he's mandatory for Beterbiev Bivol, yeah. So the fact that JB showing through his actions, he's not ducking no one. Whereas AY, I'm not saying he's ducking, I'm just saying it doesn't look good on his side, where you talk about Lyndon Arthur 3 when Lyndon Arthur barely beat Liam Cameron. You know what I mean? And, you know, you're fighting, you're talking about you're a free promoter, you're a free agent for all different promotions. You can go to Boxer, Matchroom, Queensby, right? But being a free agent doesn't matter now. You can go to any a promotional company and you'll have a fight. Do you know what I mean? They're all together. They're all working together, basically. So
even PBC's in the mix.
Do you know what I mean? PBC and what's it called? Top Rank, Golden Boy. Like, it doesn't matter who you're with now. So that argument to say that's the reason why he's a free agent is kind of outdated now since Riyadh season's come in. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So AY, I know the last performance wasn't the way you hoped it would have gone, you know. However, it's not like you're a prospect anymore. It's not like you're moving up the ranks. You're like one of the best light heavyweights in Britain, and you know you're world class, bro. You are top 10 in the world. Do you know what I mean? So let's remember that, bro. Like, it's a short career boxing. I think now you just got to go for it. To be honest.
Yeah, I think right now being a free agent doesn't
mean anything, bro.
No, that it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It's not in the fighter's benefit. I think right now, aligning yourself with a promotional company is very important right now, more than probably it had been in the past,
I agree.
because all of these men are involved and they're working together. And if you are a free agent, you're on the outside. Look how long Fabio Wardley was a free agent for, and then now he's realized, hey, listen, this all going down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like someone was talking about it the other day. Queensberry right now is in the most pole position. Queensberry, I don't think they had a single fighter on that Latin card, right? The Latin card was totally to do with
Oscar De La Hoya. Golden Boy.
Yeah, exactly. However, on the canvas, Queensberry. Queensberry is Riyadh season. So it's like the worst possible time to have any degree of conflict with Queensberry and Frank Warren is at this time. We can talk about this one for a very long time, but I just hope that whatever's going on over there in that situation, we need an active Anthony Yarde and an active Anthony Yarde against good, high quality opposition. So I just hope whatever's going on over there gets sorted out and we get an active Anthony Yarde once again.
I hope he does go back with Queensberry, because I realize, you know what you're saying about picking a good promoter is a good idea. I think if you're with a specific promotion company, they're going to ride out for you, right? They're going to make sure they get you your fights. The fact when you're a free agent, they're not really going to care as much as their own fighters, right? And Queensberry, in my opinion, I think they ride out for their fighters the most out of everyone. Do you know what I mean? So I just quickly wanted to say that as well. And I hope AY and Uncle Frank get back together, man.
You know what I'm saying? Bring the family back together. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I know you wanted to move on to this one next, so let's get into it. Let's get into the heavyweight clash. All right? The fight that on some fight posters is the opener of the night, and on others, it's the second fight of the night. I'm talking about Big Bang. Zhilei Zhang, the bang is back versus Agit Kabayel.
Oh my God. Do you know what I'm laughing?
The battle of the duckers that some people say.
No, not even. Do you know what I'm laughing, bro?
Why are you laughing?
The fact that either Joshua Buatsi, Callum Smith, or Agit Kabayel, Zhilei Zhang is the first fight on the bill.
Madness.
It's a madness. I can't believe that, bro.
It's a madness. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
This card is so insane. It's mad, because Turkey literally said the other day that he wanted to add 2 more fights onto the card. And Eddie and Frank had to force him, like, bro, relax. This thing is going to go on for 12 hours, bro, if you add 2 more fights on the card. So he said he's going to move those 2 fights that he'd planned onto March. But what a mad brother.
Wow.
Big Bang Zhang, Agit Kabayel in the heavyweight division.
What a fight that is, bro. I think that's one of the... I don't want to say it's one of the best fights in the heavyweight division, but it's one of the best like names you put together. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and Zhang, you know what you're gonna get from Zhang. Kabayel, you know what you're gonna get from Kabayel. I think the only disappointing thing is going back to what you said, that they both, let's call a spade for a spade. They avoided Bacoli. Let's just say how it is, right? But nevertheless, the fact that these two are, risking to face one another, because these two are both serious brothers, right? So the fact that they've agreed to face each other is, and there's not really any fruit for them after it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Besides the paycheck, I think that I'm favouring Kabayel. I think your favorite. I remember in the previous episode you said you were favouring Kabayel as well. I spoke to Spencer Firo and he thinks Kabayel's going to win quite convincingly as well. Is there any chance for Zhang to do something in that fight?
There is. Early doors. Big Bang Zhang early doors is dangerous, bruv. Big Bang Zhang early doors had Joseph Parker on the canvas. Big Bang Zhang, remember, he knocked out Deontay Wilder. Come on, listen. Big Bang Zhang, don't play with him. And plus, there's still work on them trying to get a big fight at the Bird's Nest in China. And Big Bang Zhang has got to be the man to do it. So, end of the day, obviously, he's 42 years old. I'm just trying to make a case for him. I'm not saying that he's going to win it. I'm just saying that it's not a foregone conclusion.
No,
early doors, he is very dangerous. He's powerful. He's big. We saw what he did to Joe Joyce on 2 occasions. He's capable. So, I am not by any means writing him off. I just think that Agit Kabayel has had an insane run, but this is heavyweight boxing, okay? Anything is possible in heavyweight boxing, and I think this is a closer fight than many people think so far.
I think the key thing these both fighters need to do, they need to look at the Joseph Parker Zhilei Zhang fight. So Zhang needs to make sure he gets his conditioning right, because I can imagine it going past 6 with Kabayel.
But he's not getting his conditioning right.
But if he's not going to do it,
he's not getting his conditioning right. What he needs to do is step on the gas early doors. Listen, there's two.
I think Kabayel's too smart for that.
There's two. Yeah, but you can be too smart for it. But all it takes is one bang.
True.
And then you're zhanged. You understand?
Let's get zhanged.
Yeah, you understand?
You don't want to get zhanged.
Hey, listen. All it takes is one bang, and then you're zhanged. You understand?
100.
That's it. So, the reality is, everybody's got to stick to their strengths. That's what I say. Like, look, Big Bang Zhang is 42 now. He ain't. I don't know if he can remuster a new engine, bro. The miles on the clock are the miles on the clock, bro. It's clocked over 100,000 miles. It's still out here. It's still a Land Rover. It's still big, bulky, ready to take the high terrain. Maybe not for a long distance though. But when it comes to taking the mountainous terrain, he can do it. So when it comes to this situation, he needs to focus on his strengths. His strengths is in the bang, and he needs to get it done early.
Do you think there's any argument labeling Zhang as overrated?
No.
Do you know why? I'm not saying it's overrated, but just thinking about it, like his performances against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was, the first fight against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was that guy, but the second fight, he was.
You can't say the second fight, because the second fight, Joe Joyce is not that guy because of Zhang.
True, so but Wilder as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, both of them both fighters that Zhang's faced haven't got IQ, right? And as soon as he fights, well, of course they got IQ, but respectfully, you know what I'm trying to say. But when he faced Joseph Parker, someone with a good level of IQ, he struggled. Now, Agit Kabayel, Spencer was saying that like he's probably top 3 in the heavyweight division with the best IQ. That's gonna be a problem for Zhang. So the fact that you're saying, he needs to bang him up quick is true. Otherwise, he's in big trouble, bro.
Oh, 100%, bro. That's it. That's his one ticket. That's his one way. That's his one way slay. Do you understand what I'm saying? He has to do it early, or it's going to be very peak for him.
And where do you see the winner and losing going? Do you think if Zhang loses this fight, he's out of the scene?
Nah, he's not out of the scene, man. Zhang is about. Zhang's about, man. He's about for as long as he wants to. He wants to be about. Come on, he's 42 years old. He wants to be about. So I don't see him retiring anytime soon. As for Agit Kabayel, I think for him, I only see good things for him, to be honest with you. If he wins, obviously he's going to put him in good position. I think this fight is an eliminator for the WBC, I believe, or it's an
interim bout,
yeah,
which
exactly.
They think that Anthony Joshua is going to fight for it as well after that.
That's what the rumors are. You see what I'm saying? So there is jeopardy on this. It's not like it's not like a nothing fight. So yeah. I think if Agit Kabayel loses, obviously there's still fights for him. Obviously there's still the Bakoli fight there for either of them. So
yeah, I don't think they would. One fight I'd really like to see is a fighter who's on the upper bill of the card. So in Joseph Parker, right? So if Joseph Parker manages to win against a person that we're going to mention later on, I'd like to see that fight. I think that's one of my favorite fights to like see. Kabayel Parker. I really, really would want to see that fight in the future. But let's move on to the next fight. Israel Madrimov versus Virgil Ortiz, right? What a fight, first of all. Virgil Ortiz, proper throwback fight, like Mexican style, no nonsense, coming forward, intense fight, right? But my first question is, bro, Israel Madrimov's fighting like 2 weeks' time. What's he doing on February card as well?
Brother, Israel Madrimov said, how much?
A lie, trust me.
I'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'll be ready. Israel Madrimov said, what's the thing saying? Yeah. Don't worry about that. I'll be ready. However which way this one goes, I'll be ready. He's got a very, very tough fight with Bohachuk. I'm not even lying. That's a very, very tough fight. But he, as long as that fight is still going ahead, Bohachuk, he is like, yeah, sign me up. I'm doing it.
Do you think there's a little bit of disrespect on Bohachuk?
But that's how Bohachuk has to see it. Yeah. If I was Bohachuk, that's how I'd see it.
I'd see it as well.
But that's how he has to see it. That's the fuel that he needs for the fight, because probably for him, he thinks, I knock you out, I will take your place.
And the mad thing is, like, you're fighting Virgil Ortiz next, but bro, I think Bohachuk beat Virgil Ortiz when they fought against each other, you know what I mean? So the fact that, like, Israel Madrimov is fighting two of the best in the 154-pound division in the space of 2 months, Unheard of, bro. Unheard
You got to
of.
rate my man.
You gotta
you got to rate him. You got to rate him
Oh
highly.
my
but,
God.
But he has to get through Bohachuk first.
Think about it. If he gets through Bohachuk, his last and obviously faces Ortiz. His last 3 fights is Crawford, Bohachuk, Ortiz. Like, he should get his flowers, bro. Like, he fights anyone. And he's not just fighting anybody's, by the way. He's fighting top 3 of the best of the best.
Absolutely.
HE did say that it's not, we don't want to feel as if we're disrespecting Bohachuk, but we made that fight, and we on our contract with Madrimov, we owe him one more fight. So on the fight posters, we can't put Israel Madrimov versus Virgil Ortiz ? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it does look like if Madrimov does not get past Bohachuk, there could be another fighter Virgil Ortiz may clash against. Let's move up next. Hamzah Sheeraz will face Carlos Adames for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Good move for Hamza. I think it's the perfect fight for him. And, you know, God willing, he gets past it. What do you think about that fight?
Hey, listen, it's time for Hamza, Mr. Riyadh season ambassador, the first Riyadh season ambassador. And I love the fact that they build the fight correctly, Carlos Adames versus Hamzah Sheeraz, because Carlos Adames is the world champion. It is the fight of which we've spoken about over several weeks over here.
Yeah.
When Hamzah Sheeraz became the mandatory for Yanibek's belt, we were like, we're not sure if it's going in that direction. In fact, you were very, very heavy on that from that perspective, and pushed towards it being Adames. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure the people that are watching know exactly what's going down. So I think this is an absolutely stellar fight. I think this is going to be an incredible fight. You have a world champion here, a bona fide world champion here in Carlos Adames. And then you have Hamzah Sheeraz, who is tall, rangy, gangly, big for the weight, and somebody who has the talent and the skills when it comes to boxing. He has shown it. He's got the power to put fighters away. This is not like his first real test, because he's been tested before. But obviously, this is his first bite of the cherry.
That's what really matters.
And
now,
this is where it really matters at the world level. And we're going to see what he's really made of. But I believe that this is a winnable fight for him. I am not going to disrespect Carlos Adames, but I do believe that it is a winnable fight for Hamzah Sheeraz. I do believe that he has what is necessary to overcome Carlos Adames and become a world champion on February 22nd.
The reason why I was so heavy he should fight Adames next is because I don't like people calling it a duck or whatever. I don't think it's a duck. I think it's a clever. It's a good move. Boxing is a business as well at the same time, right? You need to build your way up, right? I want to quickly speak about, go a bit off topic. You know, there's lots of talks about Lara and Eubank Jr. fighting for the WBA. If Eubank wins that fight, if that fight obviously gets made, and then you can see potentially make Hamzah Sheeraz versus Eubank, and then if Sheeraz wins that, then go for Yanibek for the undisputed. Everyone will be saying, Hamza, great move, you done well. So we need to remember that as well. I don't think Hamza's ducking anybody.
It's strategic movements. It's making the right plays at the right time. And a world title is a world title. Okay, like going for one world champion versus going after another. Yeah, it depends. People want to see certain fights. So I get it. People might have wanted to see, you know, Hamza versus Yanibek, but the time will come. The time will come. Let him scoop up his world title honors. Let the dice fall. And as I've said many a times on this channel, Hamzah Sheeraz is Riyadh season ambassador, which to me means the fights are going to get made. So it may be the next one or the one after next. But they are going to get made, because you have Turki Al-Sheikh, who wants to make the big fights. He wants to make the unification. He wants to make the undisputeds. He wants to, you know, unleash and release more of his undisputed belts. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, That's what's going to go down. It's just a matter of time.
He'll be seeing Janabek. He'll see him. He will. I got no doubt about it. He'll see Janabek one day, bro.
Let the people know what we got next.
We got one of the best fighters in the world, Shakur Stevenson, versus one of the best. I wouldn't say he's a prospect. I'd say he's one of the best up-and-coming fighters. The fact in Floyd Schofield, right? The fact that Floyd Schofield is taking up that challenge against Shakur Stevenson, kudos to him. And it's one of those fights that have been built up before it's been announced for a minute now.
Oh, yeah, that's because Oscar De La Hoya can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya will let the world know what's going on, because when it drops, he knows that people are going to look at him like, bro, what you sending your fighter to the wolves? Do you understand what I'm saying? But he wanted to let it be known that, no, my fighter actually is the one that wanted this. This is against I didn't want this for my guy right now, not because I don't think he can, but because he's young in the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what a fight and what a set of cojones the kid's got on him.
Another way this fight's been burnt up before it's been announced, these men have been talking on X Twitter to one another for a minute now, for a very, very long time. You know, Floyd Schofield, I think it's for maybe like a year now, Floyd Schofield's been saying that he can beat Shakur. And Shakur's saying this.
Man said X Twitter. What is that?
I don't know, bro. You know what it is? It's called X, innit? But they changed. It used to be Twitter. So when I say X, I don't want the people to be like, what am I on about?
You're trying to cover everybody's bases.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So the fact that these men have been going at one another, like Shakur's been saying, this little brother thinks he can step up to me. Do you know what I mean? Behave yourself, innit? And Scofield's been saying, bruv, I'm your biggest nightmare, bro. Just give me the chance now. And the fact that these men have been going at each other for a minute just foreshadows to me we're gonna see a proper competitive, no backtracking, like no fighting on the back foot, a real tactical fight, and to shut one another up. That's the game plan for both of these men, to shut one another up.
It is going to be a sensational fight. It's going to be a fight of technical masterclass, because when you look at Shakur Stevenson, his boxing IQ is sensational. For people that love the art of boxing, he is your fighter.
Yeah,
he is technically sound. He is an artist in the ring, and I think we're going to get to see if he's able to paint the perfect painting as somebody of the name of his opponent, Floyd, whose shorts are just over here to my right, Mr. Mayweather, did against a young Canelo at the time.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
100%.
This doesn't. If Kid Scofield loses, it doesn't mean that his time is up.
Nah, he's 22, man.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's got time in the game, and if he loses to somebody who people tip as one of the greats of this era, or who people tip is going to go down as one of the greats of this era. Yeah, some people look at Shakur's current record and say he hasn't really fought too many names or too many greats. I think it was even Tank Davis the other day recently said Shakur Stevenson, who has he fought? Funny enough, he actually put him in his top 5 as well. So there's so there's needle there in the reason as to why he said that. But you know, this fight is going to be sensational.
It is, man. Shakur's one of the best in the world. You know, you speak about money made with the shoulder rolls. Like, Shakur shoulder rolls in a southpaw position, meaning that you have to flick your jab out. Imagine flicking your jab out and just getting shoulder rolled by Shakur Stevenson.
It's a madness.
It's so demoralizing, bro.
It's a madness.
So demoralizing. But yeah, I'm really excited for that fight. On this card, you got everything. You got wars. You got on the front foot type of fights, and you got boxing IQ masterclasses. Everything is on there. You can see all different types of fights. But let's move on to one of the best heavyweight fights in the division. Daniel Dubois, IBF World Heavyweight Champion of the World, defending his belt up against Joseph Parker.
Hey, Daniel Dynamite Dubois, Mr. I ain't taking no easy fights. Mr. I ain't having a breather. Mr. Look at my resume. He is not playing any games. A fighter who could have been blessed to take an easy touch at this time is taking on a game fighter. A fighter in Joseph Parker who is a better fighter now, I would argue, than he was when he was a world champion. He is a battle-hardened, gone through adversity, and risen through the other side. He is a tough opposition, a man who is capable and has the tools and the skills necessary to overcome a Daniel Dynamite Dubois. This is an additional Dan, excuse me the pun, to the belt of Daniel Dynamite Dubois if he manages to overcome Mr. Joseph Parker. Because this is not a small feat. This fight right here is absolutely sensational. The fight that many people had billed and put as the headliner of this card. Because when it comes to heavyweight fights, this fight for me is only ending in a knockout. That's the way I see this fight happening. I see this fight only ending in a knockout. And people say that if it's ending in a knockout, most people will say then it's going in the direction of Daniel Dynamite Dubois. But I will not, by no means, second guess Joseph Parker. Because him, right now, the run that he is also on, the fights that he has also taken after so many subsequent losses, he is the poster boy of not giving up. He is the definition of, and to be honest with you, excuse me, it is the both of them. These two are two examples of what it takes and what it means and what it looks like to not give up. To when the naysayers say your time is up now, it's over. You are out the game now. These words have been said to both of these fighters, and on February 22nd, these two meet, and it is going to be explosive.
That's exactly what it is. I don't know how to top that, to be honest, bruv. But the fact that what you're saying, they both are Mr. Resilient. Yeah, they show resilience. Like not long ago, like Joseph Parker was on a boxer card fighting Jack Massey. Do you know what I mean? Daniel Dubois was fighting, I forgot my man's name, Kevin Lorena, struggling against Kevin Lorena, getting those injuries, and Kevin Lorena was on him. Do you know what I mean? Now look at where they are today. So resilience and determination and not giving up, these fighters both epitomize that, right? Now, I think I heard it in a bit, you basically, are you alluding to Daniel Dubois being the favourite in that fight?
He is the favourite in that fight. He is the world champion. He's the man who slayed the king, Mr. Anthony Joshua, who has a win against Joseph Parker. So he is rightfully, for me, the favourite going into this fight. He has, if you're looking at it in its honesty, faced what people would argue to be the tougher opposition so far. When you're looking at who he's fought, Big Baby Miller, Hrgovic, AJ. Those last three fights, tough, hard fights. And then the one before that, his loss, we're talking against Alexander Usyk. So let's for me, yes, he is a favorite in this fight.
100%. You know what? That run you've just said, like Daniel, I think it's fair to say Daniel's due like a not an easy fight, but a lesser challenging fight. I think he's due that, and I think also Joseph Parker was due, had the right to have that, lesser fight, right? But the fact that they keep on going with these big fights, you've got to respect it.
You have to, but and it's funny because although I say Daniel is the favorite in this fight, I say that with all humility because this for me is also a winnable fight for Joseph Parker.
You can't put your chips into one side. You can't
put all your chips in one side because when I look at Joseph Parker, he, even in his last fight against Zhilei Zhang, came off the camp. He is the poster boy of resilience. He came off the canvas. He lost to Joe Joyce, the man who got knocked out by Zhilei Zhang twice.
Mad, styles make fights.
Come on, styles make fights, and the heavyweight division is the equalizer. The division itself is the equalizer. So when you've got these two giants going against each other, listen, this fight is going to be sensational. Listen, this card, right? Bruv, I'm booking. Listen, by the time this comes out, my flight's already booked. I'm not even playing. Listen, live and direct, man is posted up. You understand what I'm saying?
We actually can't miss that.
It's impossible to miss.
Impossible. We can't miss that, bro.
It's impossible to miss.
And another reason why it's impossible to miss, because you got the main event that I was saying has to be the main event, and a lot of other fight fans were saying has to be the main event. Artur Beterbiev, my best friend, Artur Beterbiev, yeah, versus Dimitri Bivol II. Oh my God, David. I'm so excited. You know how passionate I was and how upset I was hearing that it may not be the next fight due to IBF. But thank you, IBF. Thank you for, opening your eyes and going with logic. Wow,
indeed. Shout out. Listen, that rant that you did against IBF was absolutely, it was sensational. But the IBF are still there. They're still hanging about. But it's because there's a 9 month, there's a 9-month clause with them with regards to the belt has to be fought for within the 9 months. So that gap is there. That's the reason as to why they made this fight so soon. That's the reason why it's not in a year's time. Because in a year's time, IBF would have caught their mandatory by month 9, and we wouldn't get this fight for the undisputed. It is incredible that this fight is happening for the undisputed. Incredible that this fight is happening for the undisputed once again. It's very rare that you get an undisputed after an undisputed because the fragmentation of belts. But in this case, we have it right. And it is going to be an absolutely incredible fight. You have Artur Beterbiev, your new best friend, you know what I'm saying? Which is funny because obviously we all know how much you love Dimitri Bivol. You know what I'm saying? But we have got Artur Beterbiev, who was disappointed in his performance the last time round. So I believe in this time round, he is going to want to knock Bivol out to make an absolute statement and to go down as somebody who has knocked out every single person that he's been in the ring with. Then you have Dimitri Bivol, who fought an absolutely brilliant fight that many people believed was enough to win. He knows that he must do more. He didn't give no excuses after the first fight. None whatsoever. None immediately after the fight. None in the days, weeks, and months afterwards. And so we are going to see an absolutely amazing fight between these two. And I just hope there's no injuries and the card stays exactly as it is.
God willing, brother. I'm excited for that fight. You know, I did speak to Beterbiev a couple of days ago.
Go on, tell him.
And off camera, also, I wish I recorded it, but I asked him, like, you ready for Dimitri Bivol? Not like that, but more politely, right? And all he went, ready. Like it's like the demeanor, the calmness, like, of Beterbiev is very, like, sinister, scary. Like, the fact that he's so calm, obviously he eats some burgers and that, like, why would he be all the tense? But the fact that he's like, he says it like it's not like it's a sparring session. To me, that makes it a bit more. I think Beterbiev, you know, I think we're gonna see a more destructive Beterbiev, to be honest. I'm still gonna go with Dimitri Bivol because I think Dimitri Bivol, the fact that you said he needs to give more when he gave a lot already, it's madness because I generally think he can give more as well. I'm gonna go with Dimitri Bivol for that fight. However, I do love Beterbiev, and I'm not gonna lie. I do. It's hard, but as a boxer, I like Bivol's style more. That's the only reason why I like Bivol. This is just boxers. As people, obviously, I've never met Bivol, but Beterbiev's a real brother, bro. Like, he gets up shaking everyone's hand. Doesn't matter who it is. And I love that. Like, he's a proper humble guy, a real nice guy. And Eddie Hearn calls him arrogant. I don't think he's arrogant, bro. From what I've seen, far from it. But I'm so excited for that fight. I'm so excited for this card, bro. It feels like I'm a kid in the sweet shop, bro. I'm so excited. Like, I just can't stop smiling, knowing that me and you, we're going there, bro.
We'll be there.
We're going there. I'm going to go watch Beterbiev versus Bivol. I can't believe it, bro.
We'll be there, out here posted live and direct. Listen, shout out to Riyadh season. Shout out to Mr. H.E. Turkey Al Sheikh. It's going to be an absolutely sensational fight card. Let us know your thoughts on the whole fight card in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep it posted because we're going to be bringing you so much more information surrounding this card and talking so much about the predictions as time goes on. I've been David Alorca.
And I've been Joe Ojala.
You've been watching The Squared Circle, and we'll see you again next time.
Peace out.